What's up guys, it's Jason with Napier Photography and Media, and today I'm going to talk to you about the Sony A9 and the one lens that you can buy to fit pretty much all of your needs as a professional photographer. Stay tuned. That's right guys, I'm talking about the Sony A9 and the one lens that I could recommend to you. If you pick this one lens up, you probably won't need another one. You're going to want other ones just because that's who we are as photographers. We love lenses. We love good quality lenses. But if I could tell you the one lens, if you're going to break the bank and buy a really nice lens for the Sony A9, which you've already bought, the top of the line, you know, one of the best cameras in the world, you might as well get the top of the line best lens you can get. And by far, this lens has been my workhorse. This has been my tank. This has been the one that I shoot pretty much everything with. But this is the Sony A9, okay? And this is my baby. Okay, this is a 24 megapixel mirrorless camera, and it shoots 20 frames per second. It pretty much will shoot in the dark. The ISO on this thing is insane. I shoot this thing at night. I video in the dark pretty much for weddings and things like that, and I absolutely have zero issues with this camera. The noise that you get at high ISOs is very minimal, and you can recover it in Lightroom or any other software that you use for professional editing software. But if I were to tell you that the Sony A9 is the perfect camera for the professional that's really serious about professional photography, and you want a camera that can pretty much cover everything, this is what I would recommend to you. I would recommend this to you, especially if you didn't necessarily have a budget in mind, because this is not a cheap camera. But I would tell you that if you're a serious professional photographer that's looking to go into mirrorless, look no further guys. Go to the Sony A9. You're gonna love this thing. Now, they do have the Sony A7R III, but I will tell you, for me, and you know, I'm only speaking for me, and I shoot a little bit of everything, so I have to tell you the honest truth. You know, I shoot real estate, I shoot sports, I shoot weddings, I shoot portraits, you know, I shoot landscapes, I shoot long exposures. I mean, I shoot pretty much everything, and so for me, I want a camera that can do everything that I want it to do. Sorry. So that's this camera, the Sony A9. This is a $4,600 body with a $300 or $400 battery pack with an extra battery in there. It's like 70, 80 bucks, I think. But let me just talk to you about this lens. And I won't recommend any other lenses to you today, because this is the one you need to get first, and then you can build off of that. Because honest to goodness, this will be the one lens that you'll put on more than anything else. It's the lens that I find myself gravitating to more than anything. It is the nicest lens that I've ever shot on any camera ever. Okay, this is the Sony 24-70 2.8 G-Master, and if I were to swear by any lens that I tell you to pick up for the Sony A9, it would be this one right here. Now, I do love the 85-1.4 G-Master. I do love it, but this gives me zoom. This gives me a little bit more flexibility with things that I want to do. It is pretty wide, but it's not so wide that you get, you know, curving and fringing at the edges. I mean, it's sharp as a tack. This camera shoots 20 frames per second, and when you couple it with a really fast lens like a 2.8 lens, I can't really take a bad photo. As you guys know, with the way the Sony mirrorless systems are set, and I've said this in some of my other videos, but what you see is what you get. When you pull it up in here, if you see a good photo in your camera, when you compose it and get it set, you've got a good picture. Okay, now I would recommend you guys, I mean, you know, obviously if you pick this camera up and you're shooting it in auto, I mean, you're gonna get what you get, and I think it probably does well, but I've never even put this thing in auto, so I keep it all in manual because I like controlling all my settings. But by far, this is the best piece of photography equipment I've ever owned in my entire life, and I've owned quite a few cameras and quite a few lenses. But if you're getting to being a professional photographer, and you're looking to get into a system that can absolutely just blow everything that you're trying to do out of the water, I would pick up the Sony A9. Get you a battery grip with an extra battery, even though you're not going to need that extra battery, because the battery life on the one battery lasted me, this last wedding I did was like 12 hours of a wedding, and I took it out with 15%. and I was at the end of the night just to charge it just in case, and I still had the second battery going, and I didn't use 15% of that. So I probably could have shot on it for 12 hours, and I videoed, I did everything. I take this thing, I've shot it at the University of Tennessee for football. You know, I've done everything with this. And here's the other thing, you know, when you buy a lens for a camera, you've got to buy a nice lens. Don't go out and just spend the cheapest thing you can get. If you're going to spend this much money on a body, get you a quality lens, and then you'll see the benefits. It's almost like buying a Ferrari and then putting 87 octane in it. You know, why do that? If you're going to spend this much money on a camera and be serious about it, you need to pick up this 24-70. This thing, I shoot real estate with it. I shoot family portraits, just headshots with it. Yes, I use a 70 to 200 lens, but a lot of times when I shoot sports portraits and stuff like that, if I want to get them to jump in the air and things like that, I use this, guys. And it, you know, there's just, I just can't say enough about how good the glass is. You can see how big the glass is. I mean, it's the prettiest shooting lens you're going to find out there. So, you know, if you got some money for Christmas, if you just had a big wedding you finished up, and you've got some money sitting off the side, and you're thinking, hey, what kind of photo equipment am I going to buy? What do I need to do? Let me tell you something. Go out, buy the Sony A9. Go rent it. Go rent that and rent the 24-70 with it. And I promise you, you're not going to want to shoot anything else. I mean, it's 24 megapixels, which, like I said, the A7R II will shoot 40-something megapixels, but for me, when I bring those files in, I want to work with them quickly. I want to be editing quickly, and I've talked about this before. Yes, I could have a faster computer that would work with them, but 24 megapixels is almost just the perfect thing for sports. It's the perfect thing for weddings. It's the perfect size for everything that I do. Now, like I say, I think the A7R III is an amazing camera. I can't say anything bad about any Sony mirrorless camera, but I can just tell you that by far, this Sony A9 is the best camera in the world that I've shot. And yes, I'll admit I've not shot every single brand of camera in the world, but I've shot the major 2 or 3 above that they say are better than Sony, and I've shot them, and I've sold all of those, and this is what I shoot now. I'm not telling you to sell everything and buy Sony. I'm telling you that if you're thinking about, if you're not happy with something that you're shooting and you want to try something new, this is the future. I've said it before. Sony mirrorless or mirrorless cameras in general are the future, and you need to buy in. It's not a fad. It's not just something that's going to happen and then pass. I'm telling you that it's here to stay. But I guess I'll end the video with this. If you're going to buy the Sony A9 and you're going to pick one lens to buy, and money wasn't necessarily an issue, and it shouldn't be when you're trying to choose quality professional equipment, I would tell you the one lens that you could get away with buying is the Sony 24-70 G-Master 2.8. This is about a $2,500 lens, but I promise you won't regret that purchase. I know I haven't. I mean, I've used it for everything, and it's saved me so many times in situations and weddings and when things were dark, and I was just able to, to be able to use this in-body stabilization and get a really slow shutter speed so I can get the perfect lighting for the perfect shot. I mean, this thing is amazing. It shoots silent. It shoots 20 frames per second. Now if you do off-camera flash, you do have to turn it on a mechanical shutter because it won't fire in electronic shutter. You have to put it mechanical. I do have some customized buttons where I've turned the sound off, and I can just quickly turn it on or off. But I'm going to do a little bit more tutorials where I show you the inside of what I'm doing when I shoot, so you can kind of see how to set it up and things like that. But really and truly, with Sony mirrorless, what you see is what you get when you look through this. You can see, if you're overexposed, underexposed, right then and there, and you don't have to take a shot and look and take a shot and then look and adjust. You get it. What you see is what you get, and depending on the type of flash and things like that you put on there, you get you know, automatic, like if you're using ones that sync well and work with the Sony mirrorless system, it'll show you exactly what you're getting with your flash as well. So, you know, like I said, when I use the Flashpoint Explorer 600 Explorer, I mean, I know what I'm going to get the minute I take that photo. I know exactly what I'm getting when I take the shot. So anyway, I guess I'll leave you with that. Sony A9. Sony A9, you want to pick that camera up, you know, you're looking at about $4,600 bucks, about $2,500 bucks on this right here, and about $300-400 on the battery hand, because I've got big hands for the battery case at the bottom, and I got an extra battery, and I really don't even need it, but it's just nice. Couple that with a Peak Design little clips for a slide strap, and you're good to go, guys. You can video with this thing and do stills. It just pretty much does everything you want. So anyway, that's all from Napier Photography and Media. Hope you guys had a great Christmas, and stay tuned. More content every week, guys. Talk to you later.